की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता।
आदरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरम्।
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्।
वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
रेणुर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुरः पाणिर्मधुरः पादौ मधुरौ नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
तरणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
कुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीथी मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
सद्गुणों की साधना में ध्येय निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनऊ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर है सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरना मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय।
Jai Shri Krishna. In Zoom meeting, if you want to turn off the notification of Zoom chats, then click on the chats and then click on these three dots. Turn off notifications, click on that. Click on the mute option and now chats notification will not disturb you. Jai Shri Krishna.
राजप्रियम् धर्म संस्थापकं वीरम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने।
Jai Shri Krishna to all, and a heartfelt welcome from Geeta Sevi, Dr. Moini Vachani, to all the sadhaks gathered here today for Vivechan from Chapter 6. Is your mind your friend or a foe? And the ultimate guide to mastering your thoughts. With deep devotion and surrender, we offer a salutation to Yogeshwar Bhagwan Shri Krishna and my humble obeisance to revered Swami Shri Acharya Govindev Giriji Maharaj. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Govindaya Namo Namaha Govindaya Namo Namaha. To begin this auspicious session, we invite our Geeta Pariwar Sevi, Mr. Vikas Kumardas Bhaiya from West Bengal for the opening prayer. He is a higher secondary school teacher and has a keen interest in writing, recitation, anchoring, drawing, and social services. He has been associated with Geeta Pariwar since July 2024 and currently serves as a CT and content sharing volunteer. Please welcome him warmly. Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
May I start the prayer?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Vasudev Vasutan Devam Kausacharnurmardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnau Vande Jagadguru Shri Krishnau Vande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, Bhaiya, for a beautiful and a melodious prayer. Now, yes, thank you. We now move on to the lighting of the lamp, which is symbolizing the dispelling of darkness and the awakening of knowledge. We are delighted to invite another Geeta Pariwar Sevi, Mrs. Hina Goradia from Kandivali, Mumbai. She has been associated with Geeta Pariwar since 2022 and currently serves as a Level 3 co-trainer. May I request her to kindly come forward for Divine Deep Prajulan. Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya, Aditi.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृताम् कलहंसकृतावासाम् वरदां शारदां नुमः वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Didi, thank you so much for taking us into your beautiful Vigra and making us a part of a divine deep Prajalan ceremony. Now we are truly blessed to have respected Geeta Vritti Vikas Vaidya Bhaiya to guide us through this enlightening session on Is Your Mind Your Friend or a Foe? And the ultimate guide to mastering your thoughts. Under the divine guidance and the boundless grace of revered Swami Sri Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj, our Vikas Bhaiya has been progressing with humility on the sacred path of Bhagavad-Gītā and is deeply dedicated to the mission of Geeta Pariwar. Vikas Bhaiya beautifully exemplifies the Gita's message of Swadharma and Nishkam Karma, faithfully filling his worldly responsibility as a software engineer and managing his IT company while simultaneously dedicating himself to selfless seva. An NRI for the past 12 years, Bhaiya is proficient in 6 languages and has a vast knowledge of Sanskrit. I have personally been fascinated by the clarity with which he explains every Gita shloka, patiently taking us through each Sanskrit word before unfolding its deeper meaning. But Bhaiya doesn't merely explain Gita. He lives his teaching. His daily discipline of reciting all 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita for the past 5 years is truly inspiring. He is a Geeta Pariwar trainer for L1 to L4 and is actively involved in trainer selection and training. As a member of Pune Geeta Pariwar, he also teaches and conducts Vivechan session for Vishnu Sahasranam. Bhaiya has also appeared for the Geeta Kanthas exam at Sringeri Peeth and was honored with the first prize by the revered Jagadguru Shankaracharya. For the past 5 years, he has been guiding the Geeta Vritti sadhaks in their preparation for the Sringeri Peeth Geeta examination. Because Bhaiya, with great respect and a joy and with folded hand, I humbly invite you to begin today's Vivechan and guide us deeper into the divine wisdom of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Because Bhaiya, the manch is all yours. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mohini Devi. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Before we start, Pujya Swami Ji ke charan kamalo mein koti koti naman. Today we'll start a new adhyay, Atma Sanyam Yoga, or it is also called Dhyana Yoga. In this adhyay, before we start discussing each shloka of this adhyay, let us go through the details as to what exactly we're going to learn from this adhyay. If we know what we're going to learn, then we can focus more when the shlokas are taken for detailed vivechan. So in summary, if we see what we learn from this adhyay, it is called Dhyana Yoga or Atma Sanyam Yoga. It teaches the practical method of mastering the mind through self-discipline, through meditation and balanced living. Today, if the time permits, we will do meditation on 2 very, very important shlokas of this adhyay. But this shloka is all about dhyan only. So if we don't do dhyan, then probably we are not doing justice with the meditation. So all the meditation is often associated with monks living in forest. Lord Shri Krishna makes it clear to all of us that this path is equally relevant for people living in families and actively participating in the material life, in the social life. So this adhyay begins with the greatest friend and greatest enemy of a person is in his own mind. Shlok number 5 and 6 say, Uddhareda atmanatman atman musadet, atmavyatmano bandhuratmai viruparatmanah, bandhuratmatmanasasya yenatmaimatmanah jita, anatmanasu shatrute, vartidatmaiva shatruvat. So if the mind is disciplined, it supports happiness, peace, and wise decision making. But if the mind is uncontrolled, it creates anger, jealousy, greed, anxiety, and conflict within the family also. Therefore, the daily effort to purify and control the mind is essential. Meditation, dhyan, requires moderation rather than extremes. Sri Krishna advises balance in food, sleep, recreation, work, and rest. नात्यष्टस्तु योगोऽस्ति न एकान्तमनष्टता न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जागृतो नैव च अर्जुन युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. This is two important shlokas. So this teaching is especially valuable for today's families where the stress, excessive work, or unhealthy lifestyles and digital distractions disturb our mental peace. A balanced routine, it helps maintain physical health, emotional stability, and harmonious relationships. Shri Krishna then describes the process of meditation in details. Yogeshwara himself will teach us the yoga. What else we want? It starts with yogi sadam atmanam rasisada ekaketa chittatma nirashira parigraha. Shuchau deshe pratishthapya sthiramasanamaatmana natichidanatini chaila janukoshottaram. How to select the place, how to sit, how to breathe, everything, every minute detail God is going to explain himself to us. Sitting comfortably with a steady posture, keeping the mind focused on the divine and practicing regularly gradually brings inner calm. Meditation is not merely closing the eyes, but learning to withdraw the mind from unnecessary thoughts and redirecting it towards the higher objectives of life. The famous shloka in this adhyaya, it teaches that whenever the restless mind wanders, yato yato nischati manasyanjalam sthiram, it should be gently brought back to the object of meditation. This patient practice develops concentration, emotional resilience, and self-control. The qualities that greatly benefit the family life as well. Then God explains about the true yogi. A true yogi sees all beings with equality. Equanimity is the basic foundation of Bhagavad Gita. Devoted to equanimity, there are several shlokas in many adhyayas of Bhagavad Gita. There are some such shlokas in this adhyaya also. So such a person, he develops compassion, forgiveness, empathy, and respect for everyone. These virtues strengthen the family bonds. If we pick up this thread from this adhyaya, improve social relationships, and reduce unnecessary conflict. Arjuna expresses a common difficulty which all of us have in mind, that okay, controlling the mind, you are telling is so much, but how to control the mind? Mind is like wind. Can we catch the wind? No. So Arjuna expresses the doubt that we all have. Then Shri Krishna agrees with Arjuna. Yes, it is difficult to catch the mind, but only agreeing, then what is God? God will give the solution also. No? So the Krishna gives solutions also. That constant practice, abhyas and detachment, vairagya. Abhyas another kwanti, vairagya chagriyate. These two-pronged technique can help us to control the mind. Abhyas and vairagya. Vairagya is not running away from the family life, but getting detached. Every family person experiences distractions in life, but steady daily practice gradually transforms the mind. Toward the end of this adhyaya, Shri Krishna Bhagavan comforts the spiritual devotees like us by declaring that no sincere effort is ever wasted. Even if one cannot attain perfection in this life, every spiritual practice creates lasting progress and favorable future opportunities. So this Vivechan, what we are discussing, we are listening, is not going to go west even in the next life. It is going to help us in the next life also, not only in this life. Then the Adhyay concludes by declaring that among all yogis, the highest is the one who worships God with unwavering faith and loving devotion while remaining united with Him. Thus, the meditation ultimately blossoms in devotion, and devotion leads to lasting inner peace, which leads to moksha. So this is in short the adhyay that we are going to discuss. With this, we'll start with first shloka. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच अनाश्रितः कर्मफलं कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर्न चक्रियः. First is anashrita. Ashrita means to take refuge, to take dependence on something. Anashrita, not depending upon, not attached to. Karma phalam, the fruits or return reward of our karma. Karyam, that which we ought to be done. Our kartavya karma is karyam. Our prescribed duty is karyam. Karma is our action, our duties. Karoti is to perform. Yah, he is a sarvanam in Sanskrit. Yah means whoever. Saha means he, another sarvanam, he. Sannyasi, the one who has renounced the attachment is sannyasi. Yogi, one united with God through disciplined living is yogi. No, is not niragni, one who merely gives up sacred fire or household duties is niragni. Akriya, the one who remains inactive or avoids action is akriya. So God says, a person who performs his obligatory duties, his kartavya karma, his prescribed duties, without depending upon or becoming attached to the results of those actions, those karmas, is the true sannyasi and the true yogi, and not the one who merely gives up household responsibilities or remains inactive. So at the beginning of this adhyaya, Shri Krishna Bhagavan corrects a common misunderstanding about spirituality. Adhyatma kya hota hai? Many people believe that spirituality means leaving one's home, giving up family life, retiring to forest, or hiding in a cave somewhere, or avoiding worldly responsibilities. Shri Krishna firmly rejects this idea. He says, you are wrong. This is not Adhyatma. This is not spirituality. Shri Krishna Bhagavan, he explains that renunciation, sannyas, is not the abandonment of work, but the abandonment of attachment to the work or to the karma phala. A person living in a family can be greater yogi than someone living in isolation in forest or on mountain or in a cave if he performs his duties sincerely without selfish expectations. We can do this by living family life also, isn't it? So every family member has many responsibilities, as we know. Earning an honest livelihood, caring for parents, supporting one's spouse, raising children, helping relatives, and serving the society. Shri Krishna says that these duties are karyam karma. These are your prescribed duties. You have to do it. Actions that ought to be performed. Avoiding them in the name of spirituality is not spirituality, is not sannyas, is not renunciation. The real challenge lies in performing duties without becoming emotionally dependent upon their outcomes. That is sannyas. That is yoga. Parents may lovingly educate their children, but they should not become miserable if the child chooses a different career. Everybody cannot become a doctor or an IT professional. He may choose a different career. A businessman should work honestly without allowing profit or loss to disturb his inner peace. A homemaker should serve the family with love without expecting constant appreciation. Aaj sabji bahut badhiya bana hai. Everybody cannot say this, no? Such freedom from attachment creates mental peace. This shloka beautifully teaches that spirituality is an attitude of mind, not a change of address. You don't change your address from family to sannyasi. One need not leave the world to find God. One should transform the daily work into worship by offering every action to God and accepting every result as His grace. For family people, this teaching removes the conflict between worldly life and spiritual life. God says that two lives are not different, don't differentiate. Office work, cooking, teaching children, caring for elderly parents, and helping neighbors can all become spiritual sadhana. All can become spiritual practices when performed with devotion and without selfish attachment. So every small karma that we do perform every day can be a spiritual sadhana, can be a spiritual practice, provided we follow the rule that it should be done with devotion and without selfish attachment. Such an attitude, it reduces our stress, jealousy, disappointment, and our ego. Instead of constantly asking, what will I gain? A yogi asks, what is the right thing to do? This shift from result-oriented living to duty-oriented living, it brings the harmony, both within the family as well as within our own mind. Thus, Sri Krishna declares in the first sloka itself that the true sannyasi is not the one who escapes responsibility, but the one who performs responsibility with purity of heart. A gardener, he worked in a public garden every day. He watered the plants, removed weeds, and cared for every flower with dedication. One visitor asked him, why do you work so hard? You are getting salary without working also. Why do you work so hard? These flowers do not belong to you. Why do you take so much great care of them? The gardener, he smiled and replied, they may not belong to me, but caring for them is my duty. Their blooming is God's gift. Some flowers bloom beautifully, while others withered despite his best efforts. Yet the gardener remained cheerful because he measured his success by his sincere efforts, not by the number of flowers that bloom in his garden. Similarly, in family, a family person should lovingly perform every single duty without becoming attached to the outcome. Success and failures are not entirely in our hands, but sincere efforts is always in our hands. That we should do. So the practical lessons for us from this shloka are: perform every family duty sincerely. Do not measure happiness only by results. Offer every action to God before beginning it. Accept success and failure with equanimity. Remember that true renunciation is freedom from attachment and not freedom from the responsibility. Transform daily household life into a path of yoga by serving with love, honesty, and devotion. Next shloka, second. Yam sannyasamitik prahuryogandam vidhi pandavo nahyasanyasta sankalpo yogi bhavati kaschana. Yam means which? Sannyasam, renunciation. The true inner detachment is sannyasam. Iti means thus. Prahu means it is called. Yogam, yoga, the union with God. Disciplined spiritual life is yoga. Tam, that. Vidhi means to know, understand. Pandav is son of Pandu, that is Arjuna in this case. An asanyasta, not abandonment, not abandoned or not renounced. Sankalpa, our selfish desires are called sankalpa, our personal ambitions are sankalpa, our mental projections and expectations born out of all attachments are all our sankalpa. Bhavati, to become, Kaschana, anyone. God says, Arjuna, what is called renunciation, that is sannyas, is also called yoga. There is no big difference between a sannyasi and a yogi. Know this well. God says, know this well, that there is no difference between sannyas and yoga. For no one can become a true yogi unless he has renounced selfish desires and attachment to personal expectations. So in this shloka, Lord Shri Krishna, he reveals one of the most profound truths of Bhagavad Gita. Sannyas, renunciation, and yoga are not two different paths. They are two names for the same inner state of mind. Many people think that a yogi is someone who sits in meditation all the time, while a sannyasi is someone who leaves the home and wears saffron robes. Shri Krishna says that these external differences are secondary. What truly matters is the condition of mind. The obstacle to spiritual growth is not family life, is not our wealth. Nothing wrong with becoming wealthy or our responsibility. It is not an obstacle in spiritual life. The real obstacle is sankalpa, our endless desires, the endless chain of selfish desires, expectations, and mental calculations, such as I must always be praised by all, my children must obey exactly what I want them to, I should never face failure in my life, everyone should appreciate my sacrifice, only my plan should succeed. These are all sankalpa. When these expectations are not fulfilled, then disappointment, anger, jealousy, anxiety, and frustration it arises. Thus, it is not work that binds us, it is the attachment to our expectations that binds us. Shri Krishna does not ask family people to stop planning or becoming careless. Planning is necessary for education, for living family life, for finances, for health, and for family welfare. What he is advising is to plan wisely but remain mentally detached from the outcome. We have control over our efforts, but not over every result of our effort. This teaching echoes the famous principle of Karma Yoga, which we have understood in third Adhyaya as well. For example, parents should provide good values and education to their children. Very good. But they cannot control every decision of the decision that is made by their children. A professional should work with excellence, but promotions or recognition depend on many factors beyond his personal efforts. A family member should serve relatives lovingly without expecting constant gratitude from them. When selfish expectations gradually reduce, the mind becomes lighter, calmer, and more joyful. Such a person performs every duty with enthusiasm but does not lose peace when results differ from his expectations. The Shri Krishna teaches that yoga begins not when we leave the world, but when we leave our selfish attachments. Leaving the world and leaving selfish attachment are two different things. We don't have to leave the world, we have to leave our selfish attachments. Then the yoga begins. While living in the world also we can be a yogi. A family life lived with this spirit becomes a path to God realization. A farmer, he carefully prepared his field. He selected good seeds, plowed the land very well, watered the crops, and removed weeds regularly. He's never asked him, are you sure you will get a bumper harvest with all these efforts that you are taking? The farmer replied, I can prepare the farm with full dedication, but I cannot command the rain, I cannot command the climate, I cannot command the sunshine or any part of season. My duty is to sow with sincerity, and harvest is in the God's hands. That year, unexpected rains reduced the yield. While many farmers became depressed, he remained peaceful because he knew he had done his duty sincerely. Result was not in his hand. Several factors control the result. He said, I worked with my whole heart. The result belongs to God. This is the essence of Krishna's teaching. Freedom comes not from abandoning the work, but from abandoning the anxiety and ego attached to the result. So a true yogi is not identified by where he lives or what he wears, but by the freedom of his mind from selfish desires and binding expectations. When family duties are performed with dedication, with detachment and devotion, ordinary life becomes yoga. You can also be a yogi living our normal regular life. If we follow this practice, living the life with dedication, detachment, and devotion, ordinary life can become yoga. Third sloka, Arurukshormuniryogang karma karanam yogarudasya tassaiva shamah karanam. Now there are two types of yogi God is describing in this sloka, Arurud and Yogarud. Aruruksha and Yogarud. Who is Aruruksha? Aruruksha is one who desires to go up further on the ladder of yoga. He's just starting. He's on the first step of yoga. One who wishes to attain yoga is Aruruksha. Mune, the thoughtful seeker, one who reflects deeply is Mune. Yogam, the yoga, spiritual union with God is Yogam. Karma, our action, performance of our prescribed duties is karma. Karanam, the means, the cause, the instruments with which perform the karma. Uchyate is said to be Yogarudasya. Now this fellow Yogarudasya has gone to the top of the ladder now. The one who is firmly established in yoga is Yogarud. Tasya, for that person, Shama, calmness of mind, inner tranquility, mastery over senses and mind. Karanam means cause. Uchyate is said to be. God says, for a seeker who wishes to attain yoga, aruruksha, selfless action is the means. He is performing selfless action, but with the expectation that he wants to become a yogi. But for one who has become established in yoga, yoga road, the inner calmness and mastery over the mind become the means for further spiritual progress. He doesn't want anything. He wants only mental peace. So in this shloka, Lord Shri Krishna explains that the spiritual journey has different stages. Everybody doesn't become a top yogi in one day. The suitable practice for one stage may differ from that another. A person who is beginning the spiritual path should not think that meditation alone is sufficient for him. Shri Krishna says that karma, that means nishkam karma, selfless action, is the foundation of spiritual growth. By performing one's daily duties honestly, selflessly, and without attachment to results, the mind gradually becomes pure and fit for meditation. For Tamil people, this teaching is especially important. Many believe that spirituality begins only when one gets time to sit quietly in meditation after retirement. ये सब रिटायरमेंट होने के बाद की चीजें हैं. Shri Krishna says otherwise. Every responsibility performed with right attitude is itself spiritual practice. A father who earns honestly for his family, a mother who lovingly cares for her children, a son who serves his aging parents, or a daughter who fulfills her responsibilities with sincerity, or a professional worker who works ethically, all are progressing towards yoga if they perform these duties without selfish motives. If you are serving parents with the intention that they will write their property in my name, then it is not Nishkam Seva. Then it is not yoga. So why karma is necessary in the beginning? Because the mind is usually filled with desires, likes and dislikes, pride, jealousy, and anxiety. Selfless action gradually removes these impurities. So when we do karma, if we do with Nishkam Bhav, without expecting return reward, then our mind starts becoming pure and pure. It teaches humility, namrata. It teaches patience. It teaches compassion and responsibility. As the mind becomes cleaner, meditation becomes easier. Krishna then speaks about the next stage, Yoga Rudha. The one who has attained steadiness in spiritual life is Yoga Rudha. He has years of practice. From Aruruksha, he has gone to Yoga Rudha. Such a person has already purified the mind through years of righteous living. For him, Shama, that means the inner tranquility, it becomes the primary practice. He naturally delights in silence, contemplation, prayer, and constant remembrance of God. This does not mean that such a person stops working. He does. He keeps working. Rather, his actions arise from inner peace instead of personal desire. There was a small village. In that village, there was a school. In that school, one teacher was there. He was middle-aged, around 35, 40 years. He had his family. He used to work in the school, get salary every month. He was raising his family with the salary. So he was coming to school, teaching the student with his good efforts, but with the expectation, of course, that he is getting the salary and he is raising his family with that. He is Aruruksha. He is doing his duty, but with some expectations. In the same school, there was a retired teacher. He retired from the school, but he had years of experience of teaching different varieties of students. All students are not intelligent, no? But he had the experience of teaching even the very dumb students also. So he used to come to school even after retirement. He used to teach students, saying that I have got years of experience. Why should go waste? Let it be beneficial for students. They can learn from me. without getting a single penny in return as salary because he is already retired. He was coming to school every day, teaching the people. Why? Manashanti, Shama. He is Yoga Rud. He has achieved everything. He is Yoga Rud. So for family people, this shloka teaches that spirituality is a gradual process. Aruruksha to Yoga Rud is a long process. One should not compare oneself with advanced saints. You cannot become Swamiji in one day. The first step is to perform today's duties with sincerity and devotion. Over time, these very actions purify the heart and prepare the mind for deeper meditation. A young student wanted to become a great violinist. After watching famous musicians perform effortlessly, he asked his teacher, "Can I skip the daily practice and directly play beautiful music? Can you teach me that? I don't come for practice every day. You teach me some good song and then I play beautifully this thing, the song itself directly." So the teacher smiled and handed him over the violin. Within minutes, the boy realized how difficult it was to play violin and the difficult song on the violin. The teacher explained, "The effortless performance you admire is built upon thousands of hours of disciplined practice. The artist doesn't come directly on the stage and starts playing what you want. He has years of experience behind it." Years later, after regular practice, the student played with ease and joy. What once required effort had become natural now for him. Similarly, spiritual life is the same. Selfless action is the daily practice that prepares the mind. Meditation and inner peace are the beautiful music that naturally follows. So selfless action is the practice that we need to make every day. Then only we can go to the higher level of trying to become Yoga Rud. Sant Dhaneshwar Maharaj beautifully explains this, that action is the ladder by which a seeker climbs the state of yoga. Once the summit is reached, the effort of climbing naturally ceases. He has already climbed the ladder. But one does not reject the ladder. It has fulfilled its purpose. In the same way, selfless karma purifies the seeker, and from that purity arises the spontaneous peace. That is called Shama. Peace is not achieved by escaping action. It blossoms from actions performed with the right attitude. So the takeaway for us from this shloka is, even household duty, when performed selflessly and offered to God, becomes a step towards meditation. ये भी ध्यान है. First comes the purification through karma, nishkam karma, and then comes the serenity of yoga. Thus, family life itself can become the training ground for the highest spiritual realization. Next shloka. Yada hinendriyartheshu na karma snushajyate sarvasankalpa sannyasi yoga rudastadochyate. After defining what is aruruksha and what is yoga rud, God is now telling about yoga rud. Yada means when. Yada and tada, they come together. Yada means when. Tada means then. Indriyartheshu, in the object of senses, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, sound, touch, form, taste and smell. These are the Indriyartheshu. Karmasu, in action, in the karma we perform. Anushujyate becomes attached, clings to. Sarva Sankalpa, all selfish desires, possessive expectations, ego-centered mental projections is all Sankalpa. Sannyasi, one who has renounced. Yoga Rud, one who firmly is established in yoga already. Tada, then Uchyate is called. God says, when a person is no longer attached either to sense pleasures, Indriyartheshu, or even to the action he performs, and has renounced all selfish desire and expectations, then he is said to be firmly established in yoga. So he is the yoga Rud who has gone to the top of the ladder of yoga. In earlier shloka, Shri Krishna Bhagavan described the path to yoga. How Rauruksha works with Nishkam Karma, gets his heart purified, and slowly climbs the ladder to go up to Yoga Rud. Now he explains how to recognize that a person who has become established in yoga How to know that he is Yogarud? Krishna mentions two important signs of Yogarud. The first sign is that such a person is not attached to sense pleasures. This does not mean he rejects the good things of life. He also listens to good music. He also eats good food. If a family person may enjoy delicious food, a comfortable home, good music, festivals, vacations, or celebrations, the problem is not enjoyment. Krishna never objects to enjoying the life. It is the dependence on that. That without this, I cannot live. If our happiness depends entirely on external comforts, we become restless whenever they are absent. A person established in yoga, he enjoys what comes by God's grace, but remains peaceful when the circumstances change. His joy comes from within rather than from the possessions. The second sign is even more subtle. Shri Krishna says that this yogi is not attached even to his own actions. This means he does not develop pride by thinking, I have done so much for my family, or this success is entirely because of me, or people should always recognize my contributions. Many family conflicts arise from this hidden attachment. People want to take credit for every small thing that they do for family. Parents may repeatedly remind children of their sacrifice. तुमको पढ़ाने के लिए हमने कितना sacrifice किया पता है क्या तुमको? All that. Whole life the children have to listen to this from their parents. A husband or wife may expect constant appreciation for every effort. Husband will say, why I was putting such good suit and tie, my wife did not even give a smile. She did not say, you look so handsome. Wife will say, I cook so much with good care for my husband. He did not even appreciate my cooking. A successful professional may become proud of achievements. Such expectations gradually create disappointment and distance in the relationships. Krishna advises to perform every duty wholeheartedly, but without making our identity depend upon those actions. Work should be an offering, not a source of ego. Another important phrase in the shloka is Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi. One who has given up selfish desires and ego-driven expectations of life is Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi. This does not mean giving up noble aspirations, such as educating children. Very good, it is a noble aspiration. Don't give up that. Or serving society, or improving your own skills. Don't give up that sankalpa. Rather, it means abandoning the inner insistence that everything must happen according to my plan. That is Sarva Sankalpa Sannyas. For family people, this teaching is liberating. We should plan wisely, work sincerely, and love deeply, but leave room for God's will. Don't try to control God's will also. Such surrender reduces our anxiety and makes us more patient, more flexible, and more compassionate in life. Ultimately, Shri Krishna teaches that yoga is measured by is not measured by the number of hours spent in meditation, but by the freedom from attachment while living an active life. A mango tree gives sweet fruits every season. We see it never eats its own fruits, nor does it demand gratitude from those who enjoy the sweet mangoes. Children throw stones on it, or they pluck mangoes from it. Yet the tree continues to offer shade and fruit even to those children. One day a traveler remarked, the tree gives so much without expecting anything in return. That is why everyone loves it. Similarly, a spiritually matured person, he performs duties with love, but does not constantly seek praise or recognition or reward. Like the mango tree, such a person finds joy in giving rather than in receiving appreciation. This is the spirit of yoga taught by Shri Krishna in these two shlokas. So a true yogi is not one who runs away from family life, but one who lives within without being enslaved by pleasures, pride, or expectations. When actions are performed as worship and results are surrendered to God, the mind becomes free. Such inner freedom is the hallmark of one who is established in yoga. Yoga rudastadochyate. Now comes the two important shlokas of this adhyay. Who is our biggest friend and who is our biggest enemy? Shloka number 5 and 6 are wonderful in that space. So, shloka number 5. Uddharedātmanātmānannātmānamavsādeyet ātmaiva ह्यात्मनो बन्धुर आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः. Uddharet. Uddharet means one should uplift, should elevate. उद्धार करना चाहिए. किसका? आत्मना. By oneself, by one's own purified mind and intellect is atmana. Atmanam, oneself. No, is not. Atmanam, oneself. Avasadayet, should degrade, allow to fall in despair is avasadayet. Atmanaha, oneself. Bandhu, bandhu is friend. Atma, the inner self. Ripu is the enemy. So God says, one should uplift oneself by one's own mind. Uddharedātmanātmānannātmānam avasādeyet. And should never degrade oneself. Atmaiva ह्यात्मनो बन्धुर आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः. Further God says, for one's mind alone is one's best friend, bandhu, and one's own mind alone is one's greatest enemy, ripu. So this is one of the most inspiring and practical shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna shifts Arjuna's attention from external circumstances to the inner world. He teaches that our greatest success or failure depends not on the outside world, but on the condition of our own mind. Every person experiences difficulties in life. There are sometimes financial pressures, family disagreements, health problems, failures at work, or misunderstanding in relationships. While we cannot control every external event, we can gradually learn to control our response to those events. This is the essence of this shloka. Shri Krishna says, uplift yourself, uddharedātmanātmānam. Notice that he does not say, wait for someone else to uplift you. He does not say, go to some guru and then he will uplift you. He does not say, wait for someone else to uplift you. Our parents, teachers, spiritual guides and friends can certainly inspire us, yes. But the final effort must come from within. Sadhu Swamiji, your guru, can give you proper spiritual advice. But ultimately action is to be taken by you. Just as no one can eat food on your behalf to satisfy your hunger, if you are hungry and if somebody has to eat food for you, will it be okay for you? Will it take care of your hunger? No one can practice self-discipline or meditation for you as well. You have to do it yourself, self-discipline and meditation. The word Atma here refers to different aspects of our personality. The higher self, our purified intellect guided by wisdom is Atma, should govern the lower self, which is the restless mind driven by emotions and impulses. When wisdom guides the mind, we rise. When desires and anger dominate the will, we fall. For a family person, this teaching has tremendous practical value. Suppose a family member speaks harshly. An uncontrolled mind immediately reacts with anger, leading to arguments and lasting bitterness in the family. Families fall apart because of this kind of attitude. A disciplined mind pauses, reflects, and responds with patience. The situation changes not because the other person has changed, but because our mind became our friend. This is how our mind can become our friend. Similarly, during failure, an uncontrolled mind says, I am useless. Nothing will ever improve. Such thoughts weaken our confidence and create despair in us. A friendly mind, it says, this is a temporary setback. Let me learn from it and move forward. This is a sign of a friendly mind. Thus, the same mind can either destroy or strengthen us. It depends how we take. Shri Krishna therefore places responsibility where it truly belongs, within ourselves. For your failure, if you are trying to look for enemy outside, you are making a mistake. You will never find such an enemy outside. The enemy is hidden within you only, your impurified mind. Spiritual growth begins when we stop blaming circumstances and start transforming our own thinking. This teaching is particularly relevant in today's world, where stress, comparison, and social media and constant competition, they disturb our mental peace all the time. By cultivating positive thinking, self-discipline, prayer, meditation, and devotion, we gradually make the mind our greatest ally, our greatest friend. An elderly grandfather told his grandson, inside every human being live two wolves. One wolf, he represents anger, greed, jealousy, laziness, fear, and hatred. The other represents love, patience, courage, kindness, gratitude, and faith. Both are wolves. The boy asked grandfather, which wolf will win? Both must be fighting, no? So which wolf will win? The old man smiled and replied, the one you feed every day, that wolf will win. Our thoughts are like food for our mind. If we constantly feed anger, complaints, and negativity to our mind, the mind becomes our enemy. But if we nourish with noble thoughts, with prayers, with selfless service, good company, and remembrance of God, the same mind becomes our greatest friend. This is exactly what Shri Krishna is teaching in this shloka. So take responsibility for your own mental and spiritual growth. Don't expect somebody else to work for you. Do not allow negative thinking to dominate your life. Before reacting in anger, pause and let wisdom guide your response. Build habits that strengthen the mind. Habits like daily prayer, Bhagavad-Gītā study, contemplation on Gita, meditation, and satsanga. Avoid comparing yourself constantly with others. Encourage family members by helping them strengthen their minds rather than merely solving their problems. Remember that every greatest victory is victory. Your greatest victory is your victory over mind. So the takeaway of this shloka, wonderful shloka, is the greatest battlefield is not outside but within. Every day we decide whether our mind will become our servant or our master. By cultivating discipline, devotion, wisdom, and positive thinking, we make the mind our best friend. Such a mind leads us to peace, harmony, good family life, and ultimately even up to the God. Next shloka. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmayamaatmana jidaha anatmanastu shatrutve varteta atmaiva shatruvat. So after this shloka, we'll try to do meditation on shloka number 5 and 5. Uddharedatmanatmananatmanu atmayatmanu bandhur atmai virupuratmana. And this shloka, bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatvayamatmana jidaha anatmanastu shatrutve varteta atmaiva shatruvat. So bandhu is the friend, our helper. Atma is our mind, our inner self. Atmanaha, of oneself. Tasya, of that person. Yena, by whom. Jita, conquered, mastered. Anatmanaha, of one who has not mastered the mind, is anatmanaha. Shatrutve, in the position of an enemy. Vartet is to act, to behave. Shatruvat is like an enemy. God says, for one who has conquered the mind is the best friend. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmayamatmana jitaha. So he is your bandhu, is your friend. But for one who has failed to control it, the same mind behaves like the worst enemy. Anatmanastu shatrutve vartitatmaiva shatruvat. So the first line describes how to make mind your best friend, and second line describes how your mind can become your worst enemy. So in the earlier shloka, Shri Krishna declared that our mind can either uplift us, uddharedat, or avasadayat, or degrade us. In this shloka, he explains how this happens. How this happens? By our own mind. The difference between a happy and an unhappy person often does not lie in external circumstances, but in how the mind responds to those circumstances. If somebody gets 100 rupees, one's mind may be happy, other mind may be under distress. A disciplined mind acts like a trusted friend. It encourages us to do what is right even when it is difficult. It reminds us to remain patient during conflict, truthful when tempted. There are many temptations in life. So we should stick to what is truth. Calm during failure and humble during success. Such a mind, it protects both our happiness and our relationships. It protects both. An uncontrolled mind, on the other hand, it behaves like an enemy. It magnifies small problems, creates unnecessary fears, encourages anger, jealousy, greed, and ego, and constantly compares our life with that of others. It makes us react impulsively and later regret our words and actions. This is a enemy point of ours. This teaching is especially important for our family life. Suppose a husband returns home after work, tired. He is very tired after working for 8, 9, 10 hours in the office. He returns home and an argument begins over a small issue in the house, in the family. An uncontrolled mind immediately says, answer back. You have worked so hard for the day, and people, as soon as you come home, they are raising these kind of objections on you. Raise your voice, answer back, prove that you are right. But a disciplined mind will say, this is not the right time. Let me listen first. The difference between these two responses can determine whether the evening ends in harmony or in conflict. Similarly, when children make mistakes in life, an uncontrolled mind reacts with harsh criticism. ये क्या कर दिया तुमने? नकल नहीं गया, something like that. In anger, a friendly mind responds with firmness, compassion, and guidance. Children learn from our calmness, calm correction of their actions rather than emotional outbursts. By shouting, they don't learn. But if you explain to them calmly, they learn better. Today's world constantly stimulates the mind through advertisements, internet, and social media, and news, and endless comparisons. The mind begins to believe that happiness depends on acquiring more and more in life, more wealth, more positions, more popularity, more status, more likes on social media. Shri Krishna reminds us that true happiness comes from mastering the mind, not from satisfying every desire. Conquering the mind does not mean suppressing our emotions. It means educating the mind through wisdom, through devotion, through self-discipline, and regular spiritual practice. A controlled mind continues to experience joy and sorrow, but it does not become their slave. The greatest victory is therefore not over another person, but over one's own impulses. A person who wins this inner battle, he naturally becomes peaceful, loving, forgiving, and content. Such a person, he spreads harmony wherever he lives, whether family or office or society. A king owned a magnificent chariot drawn by 4 powerful horses. One day he asked the 2 charioteers to drive it. The first charioteer, he held the reins firmly. The horses obeyed his commands and safely reached the destination. The second charioteer allowed the horses to run wherever they wished. Within minutes, the chariot failed, left the road and struck a rock and overturned. The king remarked, the horses were the same. The difference lay in one who controlled them. Same story is valid for our mind. Our senses and our emotions are like the horses. Our mind is the reins, the holder, the lagam, and our intellect is the charioteer. When the intellect guides the mind, life moves safely towards peace. When the mind follows uncontrolled desires, life becomes filled with unnecessary sufferings. This imagery beautifully complements the famous Katha Upanishada chariot analogy, and it reflects Sri Krishna's teaching in this shloka. So the mind is neither inherently good or bad. It becomes what we train it to be. We can train it as our best friend, or we can train it as our worst enemy. A disciplined mind protects our peace, and strengthens our family relations, and leads us to God realization. An uncontrolled mind creates suffering even in favorable circumstances. Therefore, the greatest investment a family person can make is not merely in wealth or success, but in training the mind through righteous living, through devotion and constant spiritual practice. So as I said, these two shlokas, they are life-changing shlokas. And unless we do meditation, we cannot get the deep meaning of these shlokas deep into our mind and changing our behavior. As Swamiji says, Gita padhe padhaye aur jivan mein laye. So if you want to bring it in jivan, these two shlokas, we need to meditate upon these two shlokas. So let us meditate. If you are all ready, we'll start meditation on these two shlokas, shlok number 5 and 6. Uddhared Atmanatmanam. Uplift yourself, make your mind your best friend. The greatest transformation begins within. It begins within. My own mind can either lift me towards God or pull me away from peace. Today I choose to make my mind my friend. This is the theme of our meditation. So in the step 1 of meditation, first prepare your body. Give 2 minutes for it. Sit comfortably on chair or on the floor, Padmasana or Sukhasana. Keep your back straight, neck and head straight. Relax your shoulders. Place your hands comfortably on your lap. Close your eyes gently. Take 5 slow, deep breaths. 5 slow, deep breaths. This is to calm down the mind. As you inhale, silently say, I inhale the peace. I'm inhaling the peace. And when you exhale, you say, I release all my worries. Inhaling peace, exhaling worries. Inhaling peace, exhaling worries. Feel every muscle becoming relaxed. Become aware that you are sitting in the living presence of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is standing in front of you. In the second step of prayer, the meditation, prayer to Shri Krishna, who is standing in front of you. Visualize Lord Krishna standing before you with his compassionate smile, his famous smile. Offer this prayer silently to Krishna. O Lord Krishna, you are my eternal friend and guide. You know every struggle within my mind. Help me overcome my weakness. Give me strength to control my thoughts. Fill my heart with wisdom, with courage, and with peace. May my mind become your instrument. Guide me towards truth. I surrender at your lotus feet. Then remain silent for a few moments. Go to step 3. Contemplate on this shloka, Uddhared Atmanatmanan. Slowly recall the shloka, what we have read. Uddhared Atmanatmanan Atmanamau Sadayet Atmayu Atmano Bandhur Atmayi Varipuratmanaha. Now reflect on each phrase of this shloka. Uddharedat manatmanam. Lift yourself. Ask yourself gently, quietly, am I growing spiritually every day? Do my daily habits uplift me? Do my thoughts make me stronger? Am I becoming kinder than I was yesterday? Feel that Shri Krishna is encouraging you to rise. Never lose hope. Every day is a new beginning for you. Now silently repeat to yourself, every noble thought uplifts me. Repeat slowly several times that every noble thought uplifts me. Next, Natmanamo Sadet. Never degrade yourself. Think of moments when your mind says, I cannot do this. I cannot accept this. I am not good I'm not good at this at all. I always fail. I cannot change. Now imagine writing these thoughts on a sheet of paper. Visualize Lord Shri Krishna gently taking that paper and dissolving it in the light. Repeat silently, I refuse to live in self-doubt. God has given me the strength. He has burned down every bad thought that I had in mind. Feel that new confidence is arising in you. In the next step, climbing the mountain, visualization. Imagine standing at the foot of a beautiful mountain. The mountain represents your spiritual journey. You are at the bottom, Aruruksha, you have to go to Arurud, at the top of the mountain. The path is steep. Sometimes you become tired. Sometimes you slip. But Lord Krishna walks beside you. Every step takes you higher and higher. With every step, you leave behind your fear, your anger, your jealousy, your greed, your ego, all your negative thinking. At the top of mountain, you see brilliant sunlight. You reach the Yoga Road. The light is of divine wisdom. Stand there quietly and feel completely free. Spending few moments in that, contemplate on shloka 6 now. Bandhuratmatmanasasya yenatmayamatmana jita anatmatsu shatrute vartitatmaya shatruvate. Now ask yourself gently, is my mind my best friend or my enemy? Observe honestly, without guilt, without criticism, just observe. Notice, when anger comes, what does my mind do? When someone criticizes me, how does my mind react? When success comes, does ego rise? When problems come, does the fear dominate me? Now imagine your mind sitting beside you. It looks tired, restless, anxious. Smile lovingly at your own mind. Tell your mind, from today, we shall work together. I will feed you with noble thoughts. I will feed you with prayers, with gratitude, and with remembrance of God, Namasmaran. Imagine your mind smiling at you. It sits quietly beside Lord Shri Krishna. Now repeat slowly, my mind is becoming my greatest friend. Repeat this 10-15 times. In the next step, fill the mind with divine light. Visualize a beautiful blue light emerging from Lord Krishna, who is standing in front of you. The light enters your forehead. It fills your brain. Every negative thought disappears. The light enters your heart. Old hurts melt away. The light spreads through your entire body. Your whole being becomes peaceful. Silently repeat, my thoughts belong to God. My words belong to God. My actions belong to God. Remain in silence for a few minutes. Then do the daily life reflection on these two shlokas. Think about your family, your spouse, your children, your parents, your colleagues, and ask yourself, how can I make my mind their friend? Resolve silently. Before speaking, I will think. Before reacting, I will pause. Before worrying, I will pray. Before sleeping, I will thank God. Then close the meditation with this prayer. Fold your hands mentally. Offer this prayer to Lord Shri Krishna. O Lord Shri Krishna, you have taught me that my greatest battle is within my own mind. Bless me to win this battle through wisdom, through patience, through devotion and self-control. Let my mind become my guide, my companion, and my friend. May my thoughts be pure. May my words speak kindness. May my actions serve others. May I remember you in every situation. Lead me from restlessness to peace, from ego to humility, from fear to faith, and from ignorance to your divine light. End the Dhan meditation with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Then take 3 deep breaths, rub your palms together, place them on your eyes, and then open your eyes slowly. So this is the dhyan on these two shlokas. Like this, dhyan on all important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, they really help us to get Gita into our mind deeply, and it changes our behavior, it changes our speaking, it changes our karmas, our nature. And daily affirmations we should have from these shlokas, few affirmations are, I am responsible for uplifting myself. Say it to yourself every day. My mind is becoming my greatest friend. Say it to you every day. I choose noble thoughts over negative thoughts. I respond with wisdom instead of impulse. God is guiding every step of my life. Victory over my mind is my greatest victory. Keep on saying this to yourself. So the meditation on these two shlokas, what we have learned is, no external enemy can harm me as much as the uncontrolled mind. And no external friend can help me as much as a disciplined mind. With Lord Krishna as my guide, I choose thoughts that uplift, actions that purify, and a heart that remains peaceful. Every day, I train my mind to become my companion on the journey towards God. So this meditation you can see again on YouTube and can try to do it for a few days. You will definitely find big change in your life. Next shloka. यदात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः. Jitatma. Jitatmana is one who has conquered the mind and senses, is Jitatmana. Prashantasya, of one who is peaceful and tranquil. Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, Paramatma. Samahitaha, firmly established, constantly realized, ever present in awareness is Samahitaha. Shita, cold, Ushna, heat. Sukha, pleasure, happiness. Dukheshu, in sorrow and pain. Man is honor, Apman is dishonor. So God says, So God says, the person who has conquered the mind and attained inner peace, he remains established in God. Such a person, he remains steady in heat and cold, in pleasure and pain, in honor and dishonor. This shloka mentions three pairs of opposite, heat and cold. This symbolizes all physical discomfort. Not necessarily temperature-wise heat and cold, but physical discomforts and discomforts. Weather changes, health problems, travel difficulties, or inconvenience should not disturb our inner stability. Pleasure and pain, sukha dukkha. Happiness and pleasure, sorrow come and go like seasons. A wise person enjoys success with gratitude but accepts difficulties without losing courage or faith. Honor and dishonor, mana apmanayoh. This is perhaps the greatest challenge in our modern life. We cannot accept apman. Many people derive happiness from praise and become miserable because of criticism. Krishna advises not to allow others' opinion to control our peace of mind. This teaching is especially valuable for us in family life. Relationships often suffer because we become overly sensitive to appreciation or over criticism. A spouse may feel hurt by a careless remark. A child may resent correction, or a professional may become discouraged by a lack of recognition. If our happiness depends entirely on how others treat us, our peace remains fragile. Why to give in their hand our happiness? Krishna says that when the mind is disciplined, the awareness of God, Paramatma, becomes firmly established. Such a person, he begins to see every situation as an opportunity for growth, whether it is sukha or dukkha, pleasure or sorrow, man or apman. Praise does not inflate his ego, and criticism does not break his confidence. Success inspires gratitude in him, and failure inspires learning in him. The state is not emotional numbness. The yogi still experiences joy and sorrow, but these emotions do not shake the foundation of his inner peace. Bahar ki cheeze bahar. I will not allow it to disturb my inner peace. That is the yogi. he remains anchored in God, just as ship remains secure because of its anchor despite strong waves. The Sri Krishna teaches us that true spirituality is measured not by how we behave in comfortable situations, but by how we respond when the life becomes difficult. Let us go to next shloka. We have to cover many today. Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kutasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ittichyate Yogi Samaloštashma Kanchanaha. One who is established in both spiritual knowledge and its direct realization, who remains steady, has conquered the senses, and looks upon a lump of clay, a stone, or gold, Samaloštashma Kanchana, with equal vision, is said to be firmly established in yoga. Sri Krishna distinguishes between Dhyan and Vijnan in this shloka. Dhyan Vidyanatma Kuta Savijendriya Yuktichita Yogi Samaloštashma Kanchana. So what is Dhyan and what is Vijnan? Dhyan is intellectual knowledge, which you get from Gita or from Vishnu Sahasranam. It comes from reading of Bhagavad Gita. It comes from reading of Upanishads, listening to saints, or studying scriptures. That is our Dhyan. And what is Vijnan? Vijnan is living that knowledge. Living the acquired knowledge is Vijnan. It is the transformation of our character through practice. That is Vijnan. That's why merely Dhyan is not useful unless you convert it into Vijnan. You live that Dhyan yourself. For example, many people know that anger harms relationships. गुस्सा बुरी चीज है, सबको पता है. This is Dhyan कि गुस्सा बुरी चीज है. But remaining calm during a heated family argument is Vijnan. To bring it in practice is Vijnan. Principle, okay, Dhyan pata hai sabko. That Dhyan everybody has. But how many can bring it into practice? Similarly, knowing that God is present everywhere is knowledge, is Dhyan. Seeing God's presence in every person and serving them with love is Vijnan. All of us read Gita, we know that everybody is having the fragment of Lord, Mame Mamasha Jiva Loke, and Sarvasya Amrisan Nivishto, all the shlokas we know. But when we deal with people, do we remember this? That everybody is having that fragment of God in him, and we should talk to him respectfully, as we are talking to God. If we do that, then we are living Vijnan. If we don't, then we are only Jnanis, bookish. Shri Krishna says that such a person becomes Truptatma, deeply content. Modern society often teaches us that happiness depends on possessing more wealth, greater status, gadgets of life, or recognition in life. Yet, even after achieving all this, they remain dissatisfied because desire has no end. The yogi, however, discovers that lasting contentment comes from inner fulfillment, not from external accumulation. This contentment does not make a person lazy or unambitious. Instead, it frees him from greed, from anxiety, while allowing him to work with greater efficiency and greater joy. The phrase Samaloštashma Kanchana, it does not mean that a yogi considers clay, stone, and gold to have the same practical value. Only an insane person can say, gold is obviously more valuable, isn't it? 1.5 lakh रुपए तोला हो गया है सोना. So how can you compare gold with stone or with clay? Krishna is referring to inner attachment. Don't get attached because it is gold. Not the practical uses of these things. A family person should handle wealth responsibly, save for the future, educate the children, and support society. However, the wealth should not remain a servant or become a master of your life. When money becomes measure of your success, the peace disappears. Don't give that much value to gold also. That if I have so many tolas of gold, then only I'll be happy. When it becomes a means for serving God and society, then it becomes sacred. The Sri Krishna teaches us that true prosperity lies not in what we possess, but in the peace with which we possess it. A wealthy merchant, he visited a saint carrying expensive gifts. He proudly said, I own hundreds of acres of land, several businesses, and great wealth. The saint smiled and asked, tell me honestly, do you own your wealth or does your wealth own you? The merchant remained silent. The saint continued, if losing a little money disturbs your sleep, if profits alone decide your happiness, and if greed never allows contentment in you, then you are not the master of wealth. The wealth is your master. Other way. Years later, the merchant learned to use his wealth for charity, for education, and for helping the needy. His income remained the same, but his worries became fewer in life. He realized that the peace comes not from having more and more in life, but from needing less and giving more. Needing less and giving more is a mantra. Okay, next loka. Suramitra dasin madhyastha dvesha bandhushu sadhishu papeshu samabuddhirvishishyate. Again, equanimity. Surat means our well-wisher, who helps without expecting anything in return, is our Surat. Mitra is friend, of course. Ari means an enemy. Udasin means not udas, a neutral person. Indifferent person is udasin. Madhyastha, a mediator. One who tries to reconcile others is Madhyastha. Arbitrator, what we call. Dvesha, a person who dislikes us or whom we dislike, is Dvesha. Bandhusho, relatives or our family members. Sadhusho, virtuous and righteous people. Papesho, sinful or wicked people. Samabuddhi, equal vision, impartial attitude is Samabuddhi. Vishishyate, it excels, is considered superior. Shri Krishna says, the yogi who maintains an equal and balanced attitude towards a well-wisher, Surat, a friend, Bandhu, an enemy, Ari, a neutral person, Madhyastha, mediator, Bandhu, mediator is Madhyastha, one who hates him, Dveshti, relatives, the righteous, and even wicked, Papesho, is considered spiritually superior. So in this sloka, Shri Krishna describes another hallmark of matured yogi. Samabuddhi. Samatma yoga uchyate. Second adhyaya says this. One who can follow the principles of equanimity, he is a yogi. Whether he is living in family or in monk, he is a monk, is not important. If you have this vision of Samabuddhi, you are a yogi. An impartial and balanced outlook towards all kinds of people is Samadbuddhi. At first glance, this teaching may appear impossible. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? Does Shri Krishna mean that we should treat a saint and a criminal in exactly the same way? Certainly not. Shri Krishna is speaking about inner attitude, not external behavior. You behave with criminal the same way as you should. You behave with the saint the same way as you should. Don't give them the equal treatment. In practical life, our behavior must differ according to the person's conduct and responsibilities. We naturally show our affection to our family members, trust a sincere friend, appreciate virtuous people, and protect ourselves from dishonest or harmful individuals. A judge must punish a criminal. How can he treat a criminal and a saint equal? Then everybody will let go. A parent must discipline a child, and a teacher must correct a student. Dharma requires appropriate action at appropriate time. However, our inner mind should remain free from hatred, from revenge, from prejudice, and from ego. Even while correcting someone, we should wish for that person's welfare. This is Samabuddhi. Notice the different categories Shri Krishna mentions. Surat, the one who helps us selflessly. Mitra, a close friend. Ari, one who opposes us. Udasin, one who is indifferent to us. Madhyastha, a peacemaker or a mediator. Dvesha, someone with whom there is mutual dislike. Bandhu, family or relative. Sadhu, the righteous person. Papi, one who has committed several wrong actions. Our mind usually reacts differently to each category. We become attached to friends, indifferent to strangers, angry with enemies, and judgmental towards wrongdoers. Shri Krishna teaches us to rise above these emotional extremes. For family people, this teaching is extremely practical. Every family experiences misunderstandings, differences of opinion, and occasional hurt feelings. If every disagreement is met with anger or revenge, relationships gradually break down. A spiritually mature person, he distinguishes between the person and the person's behavior. You can hate his behavior, not the person per se. Wrong action should be corrected, but the individual should never be hated. This vision arises from understanding that the same divine presence dwells in every being. Good people express that divinity more clearly, while those driven by ignorance temporarily cover it with selfishness and anger. Therefore, we oppose wrong actions but continue to pray for their transformation. Such an attitude brings peace not only to society but also to our own heart. Next sloka. योगीञ्जत सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः एकाकीयत चित्तात्मा निराशीर परिग्रहः. The yogi should constantly practice meditation in a quiet place, remaining alone with a controlled mind, free from selfish expectations and unnecessary possessions. Aparigraha. The word rahasi means a quiet place. It does not necessarily mean a forest or a cave. It means a place where the mind is least disturbed. You can find a corner in your own house and find this as a rahasi. Every home can have a small prayer room, a quiet corner, or even a chair reserved for daily meditation. That is your rahasi. What matters is not the size of place, but the quality of attention. Krishna says that meditation should be practiced sadatam, regularly and consistently. Aaj kiya kal nahi, that is not allowed. Spiritual growth is not achieved through occasional enthusiasm, but through daily discipline. Even 15 to 20 minutes of silence, sincere meditation every morning can gradually transform the mind. Do it, you experience it. The word ekaki alone has both an external and an internal meaning. Externally, it means sitting without unnecessary conversation or distractions. Internally, it means temporarily setting aside all worldly roles and identities. During meditation, we are not a business person, we are not a mother, we are not a father, we are not an employee, or we are not a teacher. We simply sit as a child of God. We have no other role. Forget about all other roles. Is ekaki. Then Shri Krishna advises yata chittatma, keeping the mind disciplined. Meditation is not forcing the mind to become blank. Rather, it is gently bringing the wandering mind back to God whenever it drifts. This patient practice gradually increases our concentration on God. Then the words nirashi and aparigraha are especially meaningful in today's consumer-oriented world. Nirashi means reducing selfish expectations. We meditate not to gain miraculous power, instant success, or material benefits, but to purify the mind and grow closer to God. That is our objective. So we should be nirashi. Don't keep any asha. Aparigraha means avoiding unnecessary accumulation of material things. Modern life often encourages us to collect more than what we need. You go to a mall and you keep buying clothes even you don't need it. Almari is full of clothes, you still keep buying. Gadgets, decorations, and possessions. Every unnecessary possession demands our attention and increases the mental clutter. A simple life often creates a calmer mind. For family people, Shri Krishna is not asking us to abandon our homes or our responsibilities. Instead, he is asking us to create moments of silence within our busy life. He knows hum to log busy. He says, okay, I know you are all busy, but spare some moments. Create some moments of silence in your busy life. Do some meditation. A peaceful mind gained through daily meditation makes us better parents, better spouses, better professionals, and better citizens. This meditation is not an escape from family life, It is the source of strength that enriches our family life as well. Okay, one more shloka. What is the time? Oh my goodness. Now, God is teaching us how to do yoga, how to sit for meditation. शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नातिच्युतन्नातिनीचै चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्. Shucho means clean, pure, holy. Deshe means place, location. Pratisthapya, having established, having arranged. Sthiram, steady, firm. Asanam is sit for meditation. Atmanaha, for oneself. Atyachridam, too high. Atinijam, too low. Chaila is cloth. Ajina, the deer skin. Kusha, sacred kusha grass. Uttaram, placed over one another. God says, in a clean and pure place. Shucho deshe. The seeker should establish a firm seat for meditation. Neither too high, nati chidan, nati niche. Both ucha bhi nahi, both niche bhi nahi. Traditionally prepared with kusha grass, above that deer skin, and above that a cloth, a thin cloth above it. So place it like that, one above the other. So in this shloka, Shri Krishna explains the external preparation for meditation, how to prepare our seat for meditation. While the previous shloka emphasized on inner qualities of meditator, this shloka highlights the importance of creating a suitable environment. Shuchau deshe, a clean and pure place. Cleanliness has two dimensions. One is the physical cleanliness. A tidy, well-ventilated, peaceful place helps the mind to remain calm. Clutter outside often creates clutter inside. A prayer room, a quiet corner of the bedroom, or a dedicated meditation space in the house can become spiritually uplifting when kept clean and sacred. The second is mental and spiritual purity. A place where daily prayers, chanting, and reading of Bhagavad-Gītā takes place gradually acquires peaceful atmosphere. वो जगह की महत्ता अलग होने लगती है. Anybody going to and standing there, he starts feeling the vibrations. Positive waves start coming from that. Just as a room filled with pleasant fragrance attracts everyone who enters that, a place regularly used for spiritual practice naturally calms our mind. Shri Krishna next advises using steady seat, sthira asana. This instruction is practical. If the body is uncomfortable, unstable, the mind becomes restless. Therefore, one should sit on a comfortable but firm seat that supports the body without causing sleepiness. सोना नहीं हमको ध्यान करना मतलब. The traditional element of kusha grass, deer skin, and cloth reflected the conditions of ancient India. This shloka is written 5,500 years back. Kusha grass provided insulation from the ground. Whatever energy we acquire during meditation, that remains within us. Deer skin protected against insects and dampness, and the cloth added comfort. These were practical aids, not compulsorily religious rituals. For today's family people, the essence of Krishna's instruction is simple. Use a clean meditation mat, yoga mat, folded blanket, or cushion. Everything is okay. Reserved exclusively for prayer and meditation. When the same seat is used daily, the mind begins to associate with that thing with peace and with concentration. Krishna also says that the seat should be neither too high nor too low. Nati chitan, nati niche. Spiritually, this symbolizes the middle path. Meditation succeeds when the life is balanced. Extremes, whether in comfort, in austerity, in work, or in leisure, disturb our mind. This shloka reminds us that small disciplines create great transformations. Preparing a dedicated place, sitting at a fixed time, and maintaining regularity send a message to the mind that it is now time to turn inward. Bahut ho gaya bahar, TV bahut dekh liya, now turn inward. For family people, this simple daily discipline can gradually make the home itself a place of peace, devotion, and spiritual growth. I think, my God, I want to take some more shlokas. I don't know how to do it. So further shlokas are related to this yoga only and how we should continue the yoga. We'll discuss those in the time to come. But before that, if we can discuss about our mind, whether our mind is our enemy or a friend, then probably that can help us. See, we want to find answers to these two questions. Is your mind your friend or your foe? Or how can one ultimately master one's own thoughts? We read two shlokas. Udaredatmanatmananatmanusadai, Atmayatmanubandhur, Atmai Varipuratmanaha, and sixth was Bandhuratmatmanasya Yenatmayamatmana Jatha, Anatmasu Shatrutve Vartit Atmaiva Shatrut. So mind is not inherently your friend or your enemy. You decide what it becomes. The same mind can encourage you to get up early or persuade you to remain in bed, help you forgive or repeatedly replay an insult, motivate you to work or generate endless excuses for not working, give you the courage or fill you with fear, help you to accept reality or make you constantly complain about it. So the problem is not having a mind, the problem is allowing the mind to control you. Now mind has a friend. A disciplined mind says, this is difficult, but I will do it what is right. An uncontrolled mind says, this is difficult, so I will avoid it. A disciplined mind says, I am angry, but I need to act on my anger. An uncontrolled mind says, I am angry, therefore I must express my anger. A disciplined mind says, the past cannot be changed, let me learn from it. An uncontrolled mind says, why did this happen to me? Thus the friendly mind becomes an instrument of viveka buddhi, discrimination, wisdom, and right judgment. The hostile mind, it becomes a source of fear, attachment, anger, jealousy, and dissatisfaction. So the ultimate guide to mastering our thoughts, according to the shlokas that we have learned today, it is not merely stop thinking. This is practically impossible for mind to stop thinking. Krishna's method is much deeper. Right action leads you to right discipline leads you to moderation leads you to withdrawal from material, helps you to concentrate, concentration helps you to meditate, and meditation helps you to gain self-mastery. This is the progression. So it begins with karma yoga. Do your duty first. Krishna says in the first sloka itself that a true yogi is one who performs the action that ought to be performed. Anashita karma phalam karya karma karoti. Sasanyasi yogi cha na niragnanya chakriya. This was the first sloka. Perform without attachment to the fruits. This is extremely important. A restless mind constantly asks, what will I get? A disciplined mind, it asks, what is my duty? This shift from result to responsibility immediately reduces our mental disturbance. For example, instead of, will my children listen to me, think, have I fulfilled my responsibility as parent? Instead of, will people appreciate my work, think, have I done my work sincerely? This is the beginning of mental freedom. In the next step, recognize that your mind must be trained. We have learned in Slok 3 and 4 that yoga requires preparation. One cannot expect a restless mind to become peaceful simply by sitting with closed eyes. ध्यान में बैठ गए और कमेंट शांत हो गया, ऐसा नहीं होता है. The mind must gradually be trained through disciplined actions, reduction of selfish desires, detachment, self-observation, and regular practice. Meditation is not an escape from an undisciplined life. Rather, a disciplined life prepares the mind for meditation. Become your master, not your slave. This is the heart of this shloka of fifth that we have read. Uddharidatmanatmanam. Become master, not the slave. Lift yourself by yourself. Nobody can do the inner work for you. A teacher can guide you. The scripture like Gita can show you the path. A guru can illuminate the path for you. But you have to walk. The path you have to walk. Guru will not walk path for you. The greater spiritual victory is therefore not victory over another person. It is victory over your own mind. Then don't believe every thought that comes to your mind. This is a very practical lesson derived from Krishna's teachings. A thought appears, he insulted me. This thought appears to your mind. He insulted me. The mind immediately produces another, I must teach him a lesson. Then another, he always behaves like this. Then another, nobody respects me. Within moments, one incident has become an emotional storm in your mind. The first thought may be a fact. The second thoughts may be the mind's interpretation. Therefore, mastering thoughts begins with learning to observe thoughts without automatically obeying them. Instead of, I am angry, say internally, anger is arising in my mind. Two things are different. You are different than your mind. That small distance creates the freedom. Control the senses. Why is it necessary? Describe the setting and discipline of meditation. Because the mind is continuously pulled outward towards senses. Eyes, they will see the objects. Ears, they will hear the sound. Tongue will taste. Nose will smell. Skin will have the sensations. The mind allows the sensation, the senses. Therefore, mental mastery requires some degree of indriya nigraha, sense control, regulation of senses. This does not mean rejecting the world. It means use the senses without becoming their slave. We'll continue this discussion in the next session. Time is too much now, 8:40 already, I think. So we'll close this session per day and we'll just keep discussing this beautiful adhyay in the next session. Thank you so much for your patience. Now the forum is open for you to raise your questions if you have any.
Because Vaidya, our heartfelt gratitude for such a beautiful and illuminating Vivechan. From today's beautiful Vivechan, the take-home powerful message is we do not need to escape from life to find the peace. We need to perform our prescribed duties sincerely, but simultaneously not attached to the result and surrender the fruits of our action to the divine in whom we have full faith. The mind should not be fixed on result-oriented. It should be duty-oriented. When the mind is disciplined like this, it becomes our best friend, and then the journey truly begins towards not only the inner peace, but even outer peace, even in our family life. The same mind can be our greatest friend or our greatest enemy, depending upon whether we learn to master it and discipline it. Let us all try to practice these teachings in our daily lives and make every day more peaceful, purposeful, and joyful. To have an announcement, we are now sharing the Zoom meeting link for all the seekers who are watching us on the Facebook or on YouTube. We warmly invite you to join us on Zoom and ask your question directly. Now, Bhagavad Gita offers a treasure of wisdom through diverse Vivechan sessions. Visit the vivechan.learngeeta.com to explore the Vivechan in English, Hindi language, or even for the kids special by different Vivechak at any time, anywhere. Please share this wonderful resource with your family, friends, colleagues, and any other people who may benefit from the wisdom of Gita. The website is open to all anytime. Now, L1 batch classes are starting from August 10, that is tomorrow. You all can still make your family, friends, and relatives to enroll so they can also take advantage of Gita's teaching. We now request the sadhaks to please raise their hands and, if possible, switch on their video cameras to ask the questions to Vikas Bhaiya. Request those who are watching the session through the YouTube to please join our Zoom link should you wish to have any doubts clarified by Vikas Bhaiya. Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes, please. If you have any questions, did you like the meditation that we did today? Do you think meditation is useful for our daily life?
Yes, very much, Bhaiya.
Because important shlokas of Gita should be meditated upon. Then only we absorb the real meaning of those. Okay, if you have any questions, please raise your questions.
Murali Bhaiya is there.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Since we are born with previous impressions, previous Janma's impressions, are the vasanas
Yes.
what we carry.
Yes.
Is it really possible to overcome those impressions using our intellect in this Janma?
Yeah, it is
Our
very good.
gunas are also there. Sattva, either if
Yeah.
you are born with Rajas, Tamas.
Yeah. So your question is well directed and very well understood, that if Prakriti is deciding our actions, whether we are Sattvic, Rajasi or Tamasi, or if our past sanskars are dictating our karma this life also, then where is the scope for us to change?
Yes.
Isn't it? We are
Yes.
bound by all this. So where is the scope to change ourselves?
Yes.
Because we
Exactly.
still have the scope, because till the time we breathe, the God has given us abundant opportunities to change ourselves.
Okay.
God has said in 9th Adhyaya also, and in several other places in Gita, that papi se papi admi bhi, he can become spiritual provided he changes his path. We are not very papi, of course. So there is no reason why we cannot change our path. Whatever has happened, one small incident happens in our life and we can definitely change our path. And once we start going on that path, all our past sanskars start getting cleansed. Our karmas, they start getting purified. Our heart is filled with compassion, with love for God, I mean. So the changes do take place. We have to take the first step in the direction of God. Then the God will give his helping hand to us. That trust we should have in God. And that is the reason that we learn Gita with this conviction that whatever has happened in our past lives or even in this life, it should not affect our future. That Ratnakar dacoit who later on became Maharishi Valmiki, was a dacoit. He killed people, he looted people. But the day Narad Muni asked him, go back to your family and ask whether they are prepared to share your sinful activities of looting people. When he went home and he asked his family members, they said, no, how can we share your papa karma? You are different, we are different. Then he became Maharishi Valmiki. So why a dacoit can become Maharishi Valmiki? Why we cannot change ourselves? So everything needs grace of God. That is granted. Grace of God is required. But that grace of God will be given to us provided we wish for it. We do take one step in his direction. Then he can give us his helping hand. But if we keep enjoying our material life and we keep imagining that this is what I'm doing because of my past karmas, this is what the Prakriti is asking me to do, that's why I'm doing it. This is escapism. God says, spare a moment for me. That is why I always insist that meditation is a time when you connect yourself with the God. Whatever has happened in the past, you forget all that. And when you meditate, it is only you and God. You are a child of God and God is your parent. That only thing remains in meditation. Nothing else matters. When this relationship starts getting stronger and stronger with your daily meditation for a few days, then your past is forgotten. Now you have a new relationship with God, and God will respect that relationship that you are now establishing with Him. We'll forget your past. So it is in our hands to change our future. Our thoughts determine how our mind will work. Our mind will determine how we act, and how we act will determine where we go. Whether we want to go downwards, avasadayet, or we want to go up, uddharedat. It is in our hands. Mind is our slave. We should not become slave of mind. It depends on our mind whether we use our mind to uddharedat or we use the same mind to avasadayet. We can go up or we can go down. Choice is ours. God is there to help us out. But ultimately, as I said, Swami, God, or Guru, he can only give us the advice. Walking is to be done by us only. Efforts we have to do. So take the first step. Get up. All of you get up tomorrow at 4:30 in the morning and sit for meditation on these two shlokas. Uddharedatmanatmanam and Bandhuratmanvasya Enatmayam. And see how it changes. The day will change. Whole day you can feel the grace of God on you. So change does happen.
Is
Irrespective
it
of past karmas.
meditation,
Yeah.
meditation alone, or because there's other yogas also, no? Bhakti yoga is also there. Then they talk about karma yoga itself. Can we achieve
No,
something
as
like
I said, yeah. Bhakti
sacrificing
yoga
the?
and karma yoga, they help you to purify your mind. Okay. But the purified mind ultimately has to be linked with the God.
So bhakti yoga also
Now,
has to be done.
Bhakti yoga, Namasmaran, you take Bhakti yoga, Namasmaran, Namasmaran will purify your mind. Nishkam karma yoga will also purify your karmas and your mind. But that purified mind ultimately will have to be linked with the God. And the best way to link it is through dhyana, through meditation. In meditation, when you sit and you are really practicing it well, after 6 months, you will start realizing that your mind is full of vacuum only. No thought comes to your mind. The peace of mind, what is called peace of mind, is experienced only during meditation, not during bhakti yoga, during karma yoga also. The peace of mind is given by dhyan only. That's why this adhyaya is extremely important. Atma Sanyam Yoga, it teaches us what really is the peace of mind, for which we use bhakti yoga and karma yoga. Ultimately, that peace of mind is to be experienced through Atma Sanyam, through dhyan, which Krishna is asking us to follow in this adhyaya. Yogeshwar is teaching us the yoga. So we should take this very seriously and enter into doing dhyan. Then we can change our future, definitely.
Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, sir.
Yes, Krishna. Any other questions, please?
Radhe Radhe.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. I want to do the meditation on 5 and 6 shloka. So will
Yes.
you please share the separate clip or
Yeah, every word that is spoken on
say that so that we
every
can.
word. Yes, that is what I said. That every word that we discussed about the steps that we take for meditation, every word is recorded and it's
Right.
it is available on YouTube. So you can open YouTube and can listen to every step when you sit for meditation on these two shlokas
Right.
and follow the steps. I read the steps and I said little hurriedly because we don't have that much of luxury of time. But you can spend 30 minutes to meditate on these two shlokas. When you
Right.
do pranayam for 5-7 minutes so that the mind gets stable. And then go to
Right.
this preparation
Right.
of meditation on Dharedat and the next shloka, Bandhuratma Manastasya. So you can
So on YouTube,
refer
these
to
two
YouTube.
shlokas are separate video. On YouTube, these two shlokas
No, they
have
are a part
separate
of this
video.
Vivechan only.
Okay, part of this Vivechan. Okay.
No separate. It is a part of this Vivechan only. This entire Vivechan,
Okay.
including your and my dialogue now, is recorded
Right.
and it's placed on YouTube.
Okay.
Huh?
Thank you very much. Jai Shri.
Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Bhaiya, today's session was really touching for me because I am trying to practice this on. I'm trying, I would say, because I do meditation, but I still have some hard time focusing because my mind wander every time. Like it's, I try to, I try to stick to focus like on Namsmaran or whatever technique we use, but at some point I lose that context and then it's start wandering somewhere else. So how can I work on it? How can I get it in more focused state?
Okay, the next session we'll discuss another shloka from Sri Krishna Bhagavan.
Okay.
Arjuna asked the same question, that how to control the mind. So अभ्यास and
Right.
कोणते वैराग्याचे गृह्यते अभ्यास and vairagya. So when you are sitting for meditation, cut off everything from your mind. Forget you are a mother, you are a sister, you are a daughter, you are a wife. Forget every materialistic relationship with the world. You are only a child of God and God is your parent and you are sitting with your parent. That's all. So cut off
Right. So
everything,
what
that is
happened?
Vairagya.
Yeah, what happened with me, like for example, I'm doing any project, I get those thoughts in my mind that okay, I can do that way, or I can do that way. So I start getting new ideas during meditations. I don't know if that is a good or bad, because it is giving me more fruitful. Technically, it's a fruitful mindset at that time, because I'm getting a productive mindset at that time. But at the same time, I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to focus. So,
See, that means one thing is clear from what you are telling me is that if the mind is at peace, it can think positively, whether it is for your project or whether it is for the God. Now we can
right,
do two types of meditation. One meditation you do only for your project, and
right.
another
Okay,
meditation you do it for the God. Do morning
okay,
meditation for God and the evening meditation for your project. It's okay. God doesn't say
okay,
you don't meditate on your project. But
okay. Because I
to meditate on
remember
God,
once I was told that when you are in a meditative state, if you are getting any thought, just let it go by, and don't start thinking over that topic. Because if you
ah,
start thinking over that topic and get more into details, then that's bad. But if you let it pass, then it's good. So that's where so whenever I feel that, oh, okay, no, I have to concentrate. So I have to bring myself back to the
yeah.
focus position.
No, when you are
So,
meditating on God or on Gita shlokas, as we discuss slok 5 and 6 of this adhyay,
ji,
then
ji,
don't let your mind to start arguing with your own thoughts. The more you argue with your mind, the mind will wander more and more. So don't enter into
right,
any argument with your mind when the mind is wandering here and there. Just try to bring it back. This is when you are doing meditation on Gita or on shlokas. But when you
okay,
are thinking about your project, that is not honestly meditation, but it is concentrated thinking with peace of mind. You can close your eyes and start thinking about your project. Whatever ideas, pros and cons come, if I do this, then that will happen. That is inevitable. That will happen. Allow it to happen when you are meditating, you are thinking deeply on your project. But don't allow this when you are meditating about Gita or about God. This
right.
meditation and that deep thinking are two different things. Meditation is looking inward. Your project will make you to look outward.
Outward, right, right.
Yeah.
Now that's a good perspective. I didn't think about that, but thanks for giving me that direction. I will apply that. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Any other questions?
Yeah, Jai Shri Krishna, Guruji. This
Jai
is
Shri Krishna.
regarding the first question.
Hmm.
Straight away, I know that we talked about the self impression or the past impressions. Prarabdha, whatever we have it, and we have our behavior. A straight question. How much do we have a free will in this life? And if yes, how much or what proportion is it uh, in our life? Where we can use our discriminatory powers and viveka and all things.
See, our sanskars definitely govern our karma that we do. Now, the fact that we are discussing Gita now is a proof enough that our past sanskars are not so bad. Our sanskars have advised us, or they have forced us to learn Gita, to come Krishna's way. If this much is done by our past sanskars, it is for us to take the thread from there forward and cultivate those sanskars which will make our future life better and better. If our sanskars can lead us to come and attend Gita classes or Gita Viveshan, that means our sanskars will lead us to even brighter future if we continue this path. But there may be moments when the past sanskars will try to drag us down. That both हो गया अभी अध्यात्म, now look something else. ऐसा भी होता है. This happens. When you do too much of sattvic karma, your mind says, both हो गया, we should enjoy the life. Both हो गया, अध्यात्म both हो गया, let us do something else. That thought comes. Take it positively. Relax for some time. God doesn't say you should do adhyatma for 24 hours a day. You can relax. Yukta Ahar Viharasya Yukta Cheshta, those are the slokas we'll study in the next session. So God is allowing you to do ahar, vihar, chesta, karma, everything. So don't take adhyatma as a punishment. Do it as enjoyment with happy mind. With this, we can definitely go further because our sanskars are definitely good enough to lead us further on this path of spirituality. We are not a gone case. We are definitely much prosperous. Otherwise, Krishna would not have made us to sit and discuss Gita. Krishna sees some potential in us. He has seen some potential in you and me. That's why he says, okay, you discuss Gita, I will watch. He may be watching us when we are discussing this.
So, I mean, I take it as yes, free will exists. And
Yes.
with our Vivek, our discriminative powers, we can overcome all our.
We can overcome our past karmas and we can lead a better and brighter life.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you.
Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
How to stop our mind being our enemy?
When you get angry, throw that thought out of your mind. Say that this angry mind will be my enemy. I don't want an enemy within me. I want my best friend to stay with me, not my worst enemy to stay with me. If the enemy stays with you all the time, will you be very cheerful that time? We cannot be, no? So we need to have a best friend with us. Nobody loves to live with enemy. If you know that your neighbor is your worst enemy, will you go and stay with him? You will avoid seeing his face also, isn't it? So when the mind is becoming our worst enemy with our anger, with our greediness, with our prejudice, with our hatred, why to live with such mind? Better to drive out those thoughts from our mind and make him our best friend, because we have to elevate ourselves. Or the choices ours are there. We can do downgrading of ourselves. If we want to go upwards, we want to elevate ourselves, then we should definitely not make our mind as our enemy. Do not feed him. I give you that story of two wolves in our mind. One wolf is getting the food of good thoughts, spirituality, namasmaran. Let us cultivate that thought in our mind. Let us make that wolf of our mind more strong than the wolf which is fed by our anger, by our desires, by our selfishness, by our greed. Let that wolf not become powerful in our mind, because he is our enemy. And the other wolf, which is fed with our good thoughts, with our nishkam karma, with our devotion, that wolf we need to make to win the war between our mind. So it is for us to train our mind. We can meet our mind as our best friend or our best enemy. Not to make best enemy is in our hands. If we drive away, the anger does come. Pause. Count. Our forefathers have been telling us, when the rag comes to your mind, count 1 to 10. We can take namasparan. That when anger comes to me, I will take namasparan for 10 counts. Shriram, Jairam, Jajaram, I will say 10 times before I respond. This is the way to calm down the mind. But unless we calm down the mind will become bigger and bigger enemy day by day. We have to stop it now and now only.
Means every situation we have to learn that our mind is working as a friend or working as an enemy, and if it's working as an enemy, then we have to stop it.
Correct. Every thought coming to your mind, you just think that this thought is a food for the two wolves staying in my mind. One wolf is that which is my friend, another wolf is that which is my enemy. This thought will feed my friend or it will feed my enemy. Then accordingly we can decide whether to continue with that thought or to drive away that thought from the mind.
Thank you. I understood.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, please?
I have a small clarification, Bhaiya.
Yes, please.
Actually, two things. One is I would like to know the exact difference between meditation, nama jap, and pranayama, because all these things are being used extensively in different ways. And the second thing is a question of Duryodhana. I know what I do, why I do, but I don't know what is that force which is making me to do that. Same situation sometimes happens to me. How do you overcome this?
Mhm.
I know very well many of the times it is wrong, but still I keep doing that.
Okay, first thing first, the difference between Namasmaran and Dhyan meditation.
Yeah.
See, in Namasmaran, what you do is you take repeatedly the name of God. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, or whatever mantra you chant, that is your Namasmaran. Taking the same name repeatedly is Namasmaran.
Okay.
In Dhyan, you focus on that God to make your mind free from any Nam. You focus on that God, which is Nirgun Nirakar.
Okay.
So Dhyan leads you to focus on the God whose name you are chanting during your Namasmaran. Namasmaran may be a Bhakti Yoga, is a part of Bhakti Yoga. Dhyan is a part of little lot of Dhyan Yoga, or you can call it Jnana Yoga also. Because it leads us to direct connection with the God. As I said, Namasmaran will purify our heart. Bhakti Yoga purifies our heart. But with that purified heart, how to connect with the God? Dhyan is the best way. That you connect with the God with a purified heart. So
That is it,
Namasmaran
Nirguna.
Namasmaran is a step for cleansing our heart, for making it clean and clear. And Dhyan is a tool, is an instrument to get it connected with the God. You start communicating with the God during Dhyan. You feel as if the God is sitting in front of you and you start expressing your thoughts to Him. That kind of closeness gets developed when you do Dhyan. When you do Namasmaran, okay, that also gives you happiness, but this kind of dialogue does not take place with the God in Namasmaran. That dialogue takes place when you are sitting in for Dhyan or for meditation. And what is the second question? Duryodhana?
But it's like Duryodhana's problem. Why I know why I do what I do, but how do I overcome? I know many times that what I'm doing is wrong, but still I do that. It's ignorance, or it's something which is driving me, the internal force, my vasanas. I don't know what it is, but I do many wrong things.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do we?
See, our mind, basically everybody's mind knows when he's doing wrong things, that you are doing wrong. That split moment, when we think that what I'm doing is not right, we allow our bad thoughts to overpower our good thoughts. And that is the moment of test for us. If we allow that moment to retract from whatever bad things we were just going to do, that is the moment of awakening for us. And from that moment, we can start going on a different path altogether. But if you allow that to happen, come what may, then we can never come out of this cycle of bad things. Like Duryodhana could never come out of it. He was given a lot of good advices, even by Lord Krishna also. Did you give 5 villages only to Pandavas? Don't have a fight with them. But he did not listen to any advice. He would have given one split moment. Okay, let me think about it, whether I can do this. Probably the Mahabharata war would not have happened.
Yes.
In our life also, when we commit some mistakes, we commit some papa karma, the discriminatory mind, it definitely tells us that, boss, what you're doing is not correct. Think about it. But the desire is so strong that we go ahead and do it. Later on, many times we repent also. कि यार उस टाइम मैं थोड़ा कंट्रोल कर लेता तो शायद आज कुछ नजारा अलग होता. We say like this to ourselves. We regret, we repent.
So desire is the
That split
culprit.
moment, that split moment when we are just going to act, that moment is crucial moment in our life. If we can retract from that, that saves our life and that changes our path forever.
So dhyana will help in that direction.
Dhyana will help you. Dhyana will help you to take a pause. Dhyana makes your mind stable. You never become impulsive then.
Yes.
Most of the things happens because of our impulses.
Okay.
So dhyana helps you in controlling and making your mind stable.
Jai Shri
Okay, another
Krishna.
question, please. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Guruji.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Moksha we can attain through jnana or karma or both or what?
There are all the different paths for attaining moksha. You can add through Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. All yogas will lead to the same destination. Krishna has clarified in many slokas of Gita that the paths could be different, they lead to the same destination. It is up to you. But as we discussed few times earlier also, Jnana Yoga, the yoga of wisdom, is not for everybody. It needs some past samskars to absorb the wisdom, to absorb the knowledge. Everybody is not having that past background that he can absorb the knowledge quickly and put it into practice quickly. He cannot absorb Jnana and put it into Vijnana so easily. But Karma Yoga, yes, everybody does karma. The only thing is you have to remove the kartrutva abhiman, the sense of doership, and the expectation of return and reward. Ho gaya Karma Yoga. For that, you don't need any intellect. Two simple rules are to be followed in life. Don't claim the doership of karma that you are doing, and don't expect return reward from the karma that you are doing. Ho gaya Karma Yoga. It does not require any jnana, but pursuing jnana, pursuing atma, body, kshetra, kshetrajna, nirgun, nirakar, sagun, sakar, all this requires some knowledge. And everybody is not that knowledgeable, no? We are not read Upanishads, we are not read Vedas. Gita also we are trying to understand with our limited intellect. So that's why Krishna has said in Gita also that Karma Yoga is best suited for family people. Start with Karma Yoga. When with Nishkam Karma Yoga, your heart becomes pure, it will lead you to Bhakti Yoga. And with Bhakti Yoga, when your heart is more clear, it will start absorbing the Jnana automatically. Ultimately, the Jnana is achieved. But directly achieving Jnana is not possible. So the first ladder for us is Nishkam Karma Yoga. In fact, the first ladder will be Sakam Karma. Everybody's karma start with Sakam Karma. Later on, you start changing it to Nishkam Karma. Nishkam Karma will lead you to purified heart and to Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga will lead to Jnana Yoga. Then you will understand all this intricacies of Dhyan, meditation and all that. Then that will connect you to the God and ultimately to the moksha.
Okay. Thanks. Jai Shri Krishna. Guru.
Jai Shri Krishna. Okay, any other questions, please?
Yeah, Bhaiya, Chaitanya Bhaiya is trying a lot, really. Didi, can you unmute Chaitanya Bhaiya? Has he?
Thank you, sister. Sir, I have a question. That if one gives counter to us, is it good to give recounter to them? That means if one insults me, that means not insulting. That means she gives counter to us. Then is it good to recounter to them? That means if one how to say?
किसी ने आपको गाली दी, somebody has accused you, and whether you should respond in the same way to him, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
See,
if one tries to give, that means he gives distraction to us, and is it good to recounter to them? That means not about distracting them, but giving a counter to them.
See, Gita does not say you that you don't do anything. If somebody hits you, don't respond. Gita doesn't say this. What it says is, whatever action you take, it should not disturb your inner peace.
Yes, sir.
In the world, when we are living in the world, we have to be tactful in the world. When you are working in the office, you have to be tactful working in the office. Okay.
Okay.
So Gita does not expect you to become a saint suddenly, that you become a yogi suddenly and give up all karmas. Somebody insults you, somebody slaps you, don't do anything. It doesn't say like that. But you should respond it rightfully. Don't react, but respond. There is a difference between reaction and responding.
Okay.
This reaction comes instantly without thinking the consequences of it. But response comes with logical thinking as to what is going to happen. And in any case, whatever you respond, it should not affect your inner peace.
Okay.
Maintaining inner peace is the main thing that Gita teaches us. We continue to act the way the society expects us to act, but we should not allow that to affect our inner peace. Maintaining inner peace is the main lesson of Bhagavad Gita. When
Yes.
somebody, close relatives, somebody passes away, the yogi also goes and cries. He doesn't hide his emotions. Or when somebody talks bad words to him, he also gets angry. But that anger is outward. It doesn't affect his inner peace. So same way we can do. We can try to cultivate the same traits of yogi in us. Somebody insults you, take it. Don't take that insult too much to heart. That it will affect you so much that you will start losing the main objective of your life. Our main objective of life is to attain Paramatma. If somebody's insult is distracting us from that goal of life, then we are at fault, not that person. He doesn't lose anything. We are the loser. So should we lose the sight of our life just because of some insult from somebody? That insult will have temporary value. We should allow it to remain temporary only, not go deep in our mind so that it affects us, our thinking, or our karma, or our destination, or our objective of life. Temporary things should be treated temporarily. Permanent thing, objective of life should always be kept in mind that attaining Paramatma is the main objective of my life. Every action, every thought, every karma that I do, I will consider on this scale whether it is taking me closer to my objective of going to Paramatma or whether it is taking me away from him.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Any other
It
questions,
is
please?
Narayan Bhaiya. Narayan Bhaiya, he had put the hand up as well. Narayan Bhaiya.
Yeah, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Hello, can you hear me? Jai Shri
Yeah.
Krishna.
Jai Shri
Yeah,
Krishna.
so Guruji, I was listening to your points. So some points which come to my mind is when you said from Sakam Karma, we go to Nishkam Karma. So
Yeah.
here you said there is no intelligence required. But what I thought is, Jnana Yoga is a part of every sadhana. So when we move from Sakama Karma to Nishkam Karma,
Yeah.
Lord Krishna also says that you have to perform intelligent action. Don't just do action which is without using your mind. So we should, because the mind tricks us a lot. So it will say that I am doing the action, and you'll not know whether you are doing it or your God is doing the action through you. So how do you become a non-doer, or the doership is lost? So you need to be intelligent in that. So how to identify whether it's ego is doing it or you are doing it with the Nishkama Bhava. That is one point
When
which
I
came
say
to my
that,
mind.
I understand your point that even if you want to convert your Sakam Karma to Nishkam Karma, you need some kind of Jnana, some kind of intellect. Granted. But that Jnana is a two-line Jnana that give up your sense of doership and give up the expectation of return and reward. Full stop. That completes the entire Karma Yoga. But Jnana Yoga is much more complicated. You see, read second Adhyaya Sankhya Yoga, all the shlokas related to about Atma, the permanence of Atma and temporariness of body. This is Jnana Yoga. Kshetra Kshetra Vibhag Yoga, 13th of the Bhagavad-Gītā, how the Kshetra is formed, who is Kshetrajna, how Kshetrajna controls the Kshetra, why Kshetrajna gets bondage because of the karmas committed by Kshetra. This needs some deep thinking and deep knowledge. That is what I call as Jnana. But this changing from Sakam Karma to Nishkam Karma, it needs some Jnana, but that Jnana is not so deep that you need to study thick books or do some meditation and deep thinking on that. We learn this technique of surrendering the sense of doership and surrendering the expectation of return and reward, then you can become a Karma Yogi. Does it need great Jnana? It is a knowledge that you need to acquire. Of course, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Guruji. I think our studying the Bhagavad Gita itself is a jnana when you are doing karma.
Why?
So that itself we can say that
What
it's
we're
a type of
discussing is
jnana.
Jnana. What we're discussing is Jnana only,
Correct. Correct. And one more point is, when you said Bhakti Yoga, it is only a means. So, there are saints like Tukaram and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who attained self-realization by only doing Namasmarana. So that is the one point which came to my mind. They do not do meditation. In fact, they attain the state of meditation by doing namasmarana.
Because they attained Bhakti Yoga to that level that they started seeing God in every individual. Sant Tukaram has a Abhanga in which he says, whomsoever I see, I am seeing myself in that person. So he starts seeing himself in every person and every person in himself. He sees God in everyone. So that is the highest level of Bhakti Yoga. When you attain that level of Bhakti Yoga, your Bhakti Yoga will itself lead you to the God. But then again, Sant Tukaram has written so many Abhangas, so many pothis. It required some Jnana also, no? He knows how to convince people of that era when he was there to make them devotees of God. So he shared his knowledge through this. He was Bhakti, he was a great Bhakta, definitely, yes. But he was a Jnani also. Same thing with Sant Jnaneshwar. He was a Bhakta also of God, but he was a great Jnani. He wrote Jnaneshwari. Sant Tukaram wrote many Abhangas and many great spiritual books. So they were Jnanis, though we call them Bhakta, but they were Jnani and Bhakta both.
Yeah, so I think their namasmarana went to that level where their hearts were purified, to that level where they attained jnana by the namasmarana effect of namasmarana itself.
The purification of heart went to such a level that they become Jnani. That's why I say that our Karma Yoga, our Bhakti Yoga, it purifies the heart basically. And a purified heart can absorb the Jnana very easily.
Okay. Yes.
I think all the questions are finished now. Gratitude is not merely a word, it is a heartfelt feeling that fills our relationship with warmth, respect, and sweetness. First and foremost, we offer a heartfelt gratitude to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, whose divine grace has made this beautiful gathering possible. We express our deepest gratitude to Revered Swami Sri Acharya Govinda Guriji Maharaj, whose blessings continue to inspire and guide us. And our sincere thanks to Vikas Bhaiya for explaining the teaching of the Gita with such clarity, simplicity, and depth. A heartfelt thank you to all our fellow sadhaks and participants for joining so enthusiastically, participating actively, and making today's session truly meaningful. And finally, our sincere appreciation to the Take team for their seamless efforts in managing today's program on Zoom as well as on YouTube. With grateful heart, we thank each one of you for being a part of this beautiful journey of learning, reflection, and the devotion. As we come to the conclusion of today's session, we invite yet another Geeta Pariwar Sevi, Mrs. K.K. Vardhani from Hyderabad, for the closing prayer. She holds a BSc degree and has a keen interest in hand embroidery and fabric painting. She has been associated with Geeta Pariwar since May 2025 and currently serves as a TA and CT. Please, Didi, join me in welcoming. All of you join me in welcoming her for the closing prayer. Jai Shri Krishna, Didi. Yes, Didi. Didi, you're muted. Yes.
Yogesham Sachidanandam Vasudevo Vrajapriyam Dharma Samsthapakam Veeram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Didi, thank you very much for the beautiful and the melodious prayer.
Thank you, Didi.
We have spent this beautiful evening listening to the wisdom of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And now, before we conclude, let us invoke the divine strength and devotion of Sri Hanumanji. There's a beautiful thought, जहाँ हनुमान जी का स्मरण होता है वहाँ साहस जागता है, बाधाएं दूर होती है और कठिन कार्य भी सरल हो जाते हैं. हनुमान जी teaches us that when faith, devotion and surrender come together, nothing is impossible. So let us not merely listen to Hanuman Chalisa today, let us sing it together with the devotion in our heart and the name of Sri Ram on our lips. May Hanumanji bless us all with strength, wisdom, courage and unwavering devotion. तो आइए सब मिलकर प्रेम और श्रद्धा से हनुमान चालीसा का पाठ करते हैं।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मुंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिरहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस बदन तुम रोज सगावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरई हनुमत बल बीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर गोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
And with the blessings of Sri Krishna and Sri Hanumanji, we come to the end of today's beautiful session. Let us carry not just the words we heard today, but at least one teaching into our lives. Thank you all for being with us. We look forward to seeing you again in our next session. Until then, keep learning, keep chanting, keep smiling, and keep walking on the beautiful